Secret Empire number 10. Oh, wow. So this is my first issue of this book that I've read. This is also the last issue of the big time summer event, issue 10 of 10, and I'm coming on the last issue. So yeah, that, I'm sure that bodes well for me. But I've been watching, or hate watching, I guess, enough YouTube videos about it where I basically know what's happened so far. The writer is Nick Spencer. We'll go to the credits here. Writer's Nick Spencer. About 2 years ago, he took over as writer on the Captain America Proper series, and he decided that Captain America is a Nazi. Well, not a Nazi. He's a Hydra agent. Hydra is the Marvel Comics stand-in for the Nazis. They are a fascistic, totalitarian terrorist group that want to control all of America. And somehow the Red Skull convinced Captain America that he was a Nazi. Or, that he was Hydra. And the cosmic... Oh, no, sorry. I think somehow he used the cosmic cube or something to do it. And it turned out that what the Red Skull didn't even know, but what members of Hydra did, was that Captain America's entire superhero career, from the day he enlisted in the army to the modern era, he had always been a Nazi agent. But at the end of World War II, the Allies, realizing that Captain America had betrayed them, got together and they used magic or something to make it so that Steve Rogers would be a hero instead of a Hydra agent. And Hydra couldn't stop them, but they could make a spell that would ensure that Captain America would eventually return to form. So basically everything from, like I said, from when Captain America first debuted to the modern era was a lie. It was Captain America acting in a way that the Allies had made him using extra-dimensional magic or energy or something. So, this event, Secret Empire, Captain America has remembered his heritage. He has gotten with Hydra, and he's trying to get all of the pieces of the shattered cosmic cube. Hydra Cap and Hydra are trying to get the cosmic cube, and they have taken over America. They've turned America into a fascist country where they lock up any dissidents. They've locked up the Inhumans, all of them. They've just been acting like huge assholes for no real reason, except that they're Hydra. And Captain America, not only has Captain America gone along with this at every step of the way, but other heroes have gone along with it too, because they thought, well, you know, Captain America's never wrong, so if he says that Hydra's best for America, who are we to say? These people like Thor are going along with this. People like Mockingbird like this. You know, people who should know better. This series, if you look at the sales charts, this series sells okay. It doesn't sell as well as a summer event should, right? A summer event really should sell like at least 150,000 copies an issue, more like 200,000, and this one sells maybe 90,000. However, the sales charts only track what goes through the comic book distribution system known as Diamond. Sales are not actually tracked at the local level, so 90,000 issues were shipped through Diamond of every issue of Secret Empire, but that wasn't how many were bought. So one thing that's come to light is that if you go to a lot of comic shops, you will see very thick stacks of Secret Empire, the main series, and all the tie-in series. People are not excited about this. People don't want to see an evil Captain America. They don't want to see all these heroes here going along with an evil organization like Hydra. Right? Especially not now. And Nick Spencer, well, he used to work for the DNC, the Democratic National Committee. He actually ran for office as a, I don't remember what, like some local thing. He didn't win. So he's very highly partisan, and you just get a really kind of like This is the only issue. Not only is this the only issue of Secret Empire I've read, I think this is the only issue of anything I've ever read by Nick Spencer. And you just get a really ugly feeling from it. You just, this is supposed to be a kind of like inspiring, heroic story, and it just isn't. It's really kind of depressing. So, let's just get into it. So this is Hydra Cap in an Iron Man suit that's powered by like 90% of a cosmic cube. The other 10% is in the hands of the Resistance. So he tries to talk to the heroes don't listen. Hawkeye says Avengers assemble. Hawkeye, it makes sense that Hawkeye would do it because back when he was early on in the Avengers, Hawkeye was like the #1 guy that always butted heads with Steve Rogers. And, but he has a cosmic cube in his chest, so he says, nope, stops them, and then he erases all of their history. He erases the entire history of the Marvel Universe, turns America into Hydra America, but then Sam Wilson, who is currently Captain America, even though technically this guy was also Captain America. So Sam Wilson, aka the Falcon, I might just call him that throughout the entire issue. So the Falcon still has the last fragment of the Cosmic Cube. There's a whole story about how they got this fragment. It's really, really stupid. I don't want to go over it. It's been covered in other videos. It's unbelievably stupid. So they make a visual reference to the end of the Infinity Gauntlet, where, or actually that was in the middle, where Captain America stood up to Thanos. It didn't go well for him, if you know the story. So Sam Wilson, or Falcon, gives Captain America the last fragment of the Cosmic Cube. For a second, he becomes... The Cosmic Cube basically, it almost makes you God. When Thanos had the Cosmic Cube, he had near total control over all elements of the universe. The only real limitation seems to be that your perception is still limited by how focused your mind is. So you can't see what's going on halfway across the universe unless you focus on it. But other than that, you basically have unlimited reality warping powers. So Falcon gives Cap the cube. He becomes something very close to God. And then it's gone. Why is it gone? So Ant-Man and Bucky, Winter Soldier, they do this thing. It shows them flashing back to this plan where they basically say that Ant-Man is somehow going to enter into the Cosmic Cube with Bucky. They don't really explain how that happens. Maybe they were just so small I didn't notice them. I don't know what Kobik is. Kobik is this little girl. Apparently Kobik is the Cosmic Cube. And apparently she sort of turned Captain America into a Hydra agent just because she thought it would be a good idea, and now she's realizing that it wasn't a good idea. Kind of like Marvel, I think. And I was under the... Maybe this is something I'm not up on. I don't know where this comes from. I thought the Cosmic Cube was just a tool. I didn't think there was anything living in it. So this is new to me. Anyway, so Bucky enters the Cosmic Cube. He manages to pull them both out. And I also don't know, is this like... Because I don't think this is like the real Captain America. I think this is the version of Captain America that everybody thought was real. But this is actually the real Captain America. Suppose in the context of the story, right? Captain America is and always has been a Hydra agent. And he didn't know it and nobody else knew it, but it was always true. So I think this is the version of Captain America that everybody sort of believed in. And so the real Captain America comes back, by which I mean the fake Captain America. And yeah, it says it right here. So the real Captain America, who's actually the fake Captain America, says it's time people saw the truth. And the fake Captain America, who's actually the real Captain America, says the truth, you were a lie. They used to make everyone forget, to break them. I'm trying to fix this. And so yeah, they're basically saying that the ideal of Captain America was a lie. Even though Steve Rogers has he has less personality than a lot of Marvel heroes. Some people have called him the DC character in Marvel, but he still has a very particular personality. He still has very specific tics and things. He's not just an idea. So they're saying that this version is a lie. It's like, no, this is the version that has been around for 70 plus years at this point. And so they fight. He has an Iron Man suit, although it's not nearly as good as the Iron Man suit. I also don't know what's powering it, because it was being powered by the Cosmic Cube, but if nothing's powering it, it should just lock down. We get another visual reference to the third, at least the third one, which is a reference to Civil War. And they fight. It's an okay fight, honestly. You can tell what's going on, for one thing. It's actually sequential art, but they're saying it, for one thing, all of the heroes are standing around, and they're doing like, this is his battle, he's got to finish it. Even though this guy killed lots of people single-handedly, took over the country, they should all be giving up on him, honestly. This is not something. So, real Captain America, oh yeah, this is another dumb thing. So somehow, Hydra Cap was able to pick up Thor's hammer. And it was something about how he basically thought his cause was worthy, which that's not how the enchantment works. The enchantment, it's not a subjective thing. You know, Odin was the one that put that enchantment on the hammer. You can think you're right. It doesn't really matter. So the idea that an evil, fascistic Hydra Cap is going to be able to pick up Thor's hammer, no, it's not. So anyway, real Captain America, who's actually the fake Captain America, manages to pick it up and hits him really hard with it. He actually has picked up Thor's hammer in the past. Not for very long, but he has done it. It's also supposed to make you look like... It's also supposed to give you the power of Thor. So I don't know how hard he just hit him there, but... so they beat him. The real Captain America, who's the fake Captain America, hands the shield over to Falcon, who's also not the real Captain America. And then he hands Thor's hammer back to Jane Foster, who's not the real Thor. And then Kobik hits the reset button, although not really. Black Widow was killed in a previous issue. I don't know which issue, but she was killed. And now I guess she's back. Although it still looks like Las Vegas is... Las Vegas somehow got wrecked, and apparently Las Vegas is still wrecked, so it's a very selective reset button. And then this happens, which this sets up Marvel Generations, even though Marvel Generations has been going on for a month now. We get this splash page where I hate every one of these characters. Except for these two get a pass. He's okay, I guess. I don't even... What the hell's up with Giant Man? When did Giant Man turn Mexican? I don't even know who that is. Iron Fist is okay, even though I don't like that superhero costume. But, gosh, every one of them. Earth's Mightiest Heroes, whatever. They let the Inhumans out. They let the greatest creation of the past 35 years, the Inhuman known only as Barf. This guy is how Falcon got the last piece of the Cosmic Cube, because what his power is, he can just look at a picture of something and then literally barf it up, which is just crazy. I mean, 85% of Marvel stories are about character X or Team X needs to find the MacGuffin before the bad guy does. You know, this guy can literally create MacGuffins out of nothing. This guy solves at least 85% of the problems in the Marvel Universe, and the other 15% he can probably work with it. I mean, this guy... who died? I don't even know who that is. So, he locked up the Inhumans, who they were trying to make into an allegory for Muslims, even though that doesn't make any sense. And so they let all the Inhumans back, and then people go back to normal. And then, oh man, there's the denouement issue. This whole story has completely treated not only these characters pictured here, but all the classic heroes as either patsies or accomplices to evil, or clownish or buffoonish or something. The basic point, so where is it? So these kids are fighting over a Captain America doll. Turns out that it's not the real Captain America. It turns out that it's the Falcon Cap. And so the point is that these. Okay, so I'm speculating. This is not a. I don't know if this is what they were really going for. It really seems like what they were going for is that they're saying that the old ideal of heroes, exemplified by this guy, are a lie. This ideal of America, of heroism, of patriotism, of anything else that you can think of, that never really existed. But these people are going to try to carry it on with it. It's like all these people. One thing, all these people are clowns. Not all of them, but all the one, like these two front and center. She sucks, Thor. He's okay, but he doesn't need to be Captain America to be a good character. He was a good character before he was Captain America. Then he became Captain America, and now he sucks. Jane Foster was okay, but she makes no sense as Thor. And then Iron Man, you can't see. This is actually an artificial intelligence that's acting like Tony Stark. Like, the real Tony is, like, in a coma while Ironheart, a.k.a. Riri Williams, has literally taken over the book Invincible Iron Man. Captain Marvel, the flagship character that can't crack 20,000 copies per month on the sales charts. Miles Morales, why is he still Spider-Man? It made sense for him to be Spider-Man and Ultimate Spider-Man, but there is no Ultimate Universe anymore. So why is he still dressed like Spider-Man? Give him his own name. Everybody just calls him Miles Morales anyway. Nobody calls him Spider-Man. Stupid Amadeus Cho Hulk. It's like the whole event is trying to say that these guys are like way better than the old heroes. And that was kind of the feeling that I got at the end of this issue. It's like you might get something out of this whole event, out of this whole issue, if you really only started reading comics a few years ago. But if you've been reading a long time, or the characters from old actually mean something to you, this whole thing is an insult. And then we see Marvel Generations. I've read a few of these. All the ones I've read have sucked. All of them. They've sucked for actually almost the same reasons, which is pretty amazing, given that they're completely different creative teams. That one sucked. That one sucked. I heard that one sucked. I didn't read it. This one came out this week. I didn't even bother to pick it up. I heard that one sucked. I kind of want to read this one just because it's a classic Miss Marvel costume. And I kind of want to read that just to see how bad it is. I kind of want to read that because I want to see Marvel again. But this whole series is a complete insult. This whole series, I've been watching Comics Pro Twitter a lot. And there are a lot of people saying, like, look, you have to give it a chance. You have to wait till the whole story is out there. You have to wait. You just have to let the creators tell their story. Which, I understand that to a point, but there's some things where you can see that it's a bad idea without having to know the ending. This looked like a bad idea. I just read the ending, and I didn't change my mind. It's a bad idea. They're trying to say that their new diversity characters are so much better than the old heroes, and it's just not true. It's just not true. So yeah, that's that, I guess. This is Unranked Chevron signing off.